Okay, awesome. Okay, so I'm Sarah, and this is Sarah Unplugged. I am so grateful to be here with Rachel Evans today, and she is going to be doing an interview with me. And Rachel, I met her through Living the Legacy, which it's a Bob Proctor inspired organization on the book Think and Grow Rich and helping people become the best version of themselves and boosting themselves into wealth. So, Rachel, give us a small synopsis of how come we're sitting here today. How did we get to this point?
Okay, so first of all, Sarah, thank you for inviting me to your show. Okay, here's the short version. Living the Legacy, not Living the Legacy, Think and Grow Rich was a book that was given to me on audiobook through YouTube. And I had been looking for a while for something, some sort of change. I felt stuck in a career and just in life. And so I was looking for something and ran into a basketball coach. I was a volleyball coach at the time at the store. We got to talking. He mentioned this book. When I got in the car, he'd already sent me the YouTube audio version. So I started listening to it. I listened to it 2, maybe 3 times. And because it was on YouTube, this Bob Proctor guy kept coming up. And I had remembered seeing him from the movie The Secret. And I'm like, he's familiar. So I started listening to him and I'm like, he's making a lot of sense here. I like this. So I was between listening to Think and Grow Rich and listening to Bob Proctor. And he kept mentioning his company, his business, and what he did. And I'm like, what is this business? So I looked it up. And there was a spot to book a call. So I booked a call and signed up for their 13-month coaching program, which was very difficult for me. I was a single mom, 1 income, 2 daughters.
Wow.
And I think the cost of it was $7,000. And
Yeah.
I was like, his name, Bill Banta, was the one I spoke with. And I was like, Bill, that's a lot of money. And he says, well, Rachel, there are several ways that you can do this. And so he talked to me about that. But the question that hit me was, if you don't do this now, where are you going to be? How are you going to change your life? Ooh. And I was like, okay, I hear you. I need a change. I need help. And took out my credit card. And so I went through that 13-month course, and it was very, it brought so much awareness to me, and I learned so much, but I came to the end of it and I still felt like I was missing something. I still felt like I needed more help. And Megan Kamai had posted something in their Facebook group and totally resonated with her. I was like, everything she's saying. So I started following her, signed up for her program. For her, like, it was, I don't know, $29 a month or something. And then she did one of those, I think a 5-day, where you listen to her each day, and she gave you a little homework to do each day. And at the end of it, you could book a phone call with her. So I booked a phone call with her and signed up with her. And with her, I felt like I was able to make huge changes in my life. So that wasn't really the short version, but
no, that's good. That's good, because Megan is a really key piece, right, to this, because the people I'm interviewing, we all work with Megan, and she has been in this for a very long time with Bob Proctor, and this is it's important. It's an important piece. I think.
So she's the one who led me to Living the Legacy. Okay. So Think and Grow Rich, to Bob Proctor, to Megan Kamai, to Living the Legacy.
And here we are.
That's how I'm here. And that's how I met you.
And that's how we met, which is really cool. And I love synchronistic moments. Like I love that when you don't even know what's going to happen. All of a sudden you meet one person, your life changes. And what's really cool about this is like a plug for Living the Legacy, is that none of us knew each other, but we were on group chats in Megan's group. And it was like an instant family. And then I got to meet you guys at the first event in San Jose, and it was like, I, if someone would have told me that I would have been like deeply caring about women I'd never met before and men, I would have never believed it. I'd have been like, no way, that doesn't happen, like whatever. But apparently it does.
The bond was like instant, wasn't it? It was like
Instant.
I need these people in my life. I wish we lived closer together.
Yes, yes, it's true. It's very true. Okay, so I prepared you ahead of time with some questions.
Yes.
And are you ready for the first one?
Yes.
Okay. Rachel, what was a defining moment in your life that made you aware that you could change and have more?
I think the first one was that phone call with Bill Banta.
Really?
Yeah, um, I felt like scared in paying that money, but I just knew this is going to help me get to where I want to be. So I would say that, along with starting to work with Megan, because in starting to work with Megan, and how she does the energy work, I was fascinated with that and learned so much from her in regards to that. And like now I can do muscle testing. Like I bought the book, I practiced myself. I started working with like friends and I worked with my daughter's dog.
Right. Okay. Yes. Yes. I love it. Okay. So in your first working with Bill Banta, in those 13 months, was there anything that stood out to you that really you got a hold of that was like a defining moment of like, wow, this is life changing?
Oh, there were so many. Because we went through, I think, I think it helped me realize that no one is responsible, like as a whole, as a population.
Yeah.
People like to place the blame, or this is how I grew up and my parents did this and that, and so that's why I am where I am. And I could never catch a break.
Right.
And I think in Bob Proctor's program, it's all on me.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what happened to you in your past. It doesn't matter who did what to you. One, you're drawing that to yourself. And that's why I throw Megan in this too, because I understood that to a degree, but it wasn't until I started working with Megan and the energy and realizing that you have these trapped emotions and this negative energy that is at a certain frequency and it draws certain things to you.
Yes.
So with the two of those things, made me realize the full responsibility falls on me.
Okay.
So whatever's coming into my life falls on me.
That's a very important point. And I want to point this out just because there will be people listening that might not understand energy and vibration. And basically, it is you are what you think you are. So if you think you cannot be successful, yeah, you're right, you won't be successful. If you think, well, no one in my family could do it, we've always had to work hard, we've always been poor, you're going to always be poor. That's basically what it is. You attract what you are vibrating at or what you're thinking about. But
Right.
it's interesting. There's 2 points I kind of want to pull out. Is number one, you recognize this is something that every successful person, multimillionaire will tell you, don't wait, just start. They will say their only regret is that they didn't start sooner. I hear it all the time, all the time. So for you, when Bill said that to you, it's kind of that version of, well, if you're not going to do it now, like, when are you going to do it? And
Right.
so you took the plunge. And then the other thing that stands out to me is you saying that you took responsibility. It's all on you. And that can be flipped when you're getting into this, that you have full control to change anything you want. Because a lot of people feel like they're like hostage and they can't change anything and everything happens to them and it's not good and everyone leaves and whatever. But you actually can change anything you want to change. And I think people don't realize, like, you can change anything you want to change.
Yes.
It's interesting to hear that. I think those are really powerful takeaways from that, especially because you being a single mom, money's stretched, you're feeling like you're in a hole, how do you get out? It's a lot of pressure. That's intense. We've
Yes.
have been there. A lot of women watching this will totally resonate with you on that.
And for me, it was like this is how I grew up too. It's not like we were poor, we were middle class, and we always had just enough.
Right.
And that's how my life was. I'm like, how come I always have just enough?
Right.
Like, I want to be able to take my girls on a vacation when I want to. I want to go to Hawaii or go wherever. And I always felt like, okay, well, I'll put it on the credit card and I'll worry about it later.
Right. And I think that that's
So,
important, is that people can access freedom. I think a lot of people are living like that right now. And to understand that you can, even the thought of, oh, I can live differently, just the thought of it, it's actually scary in a good way. I don't even think people let themselves have that thought. It's like they, nope, can't go there. Nope, I have debt. I'm screwed. I just got to work hard and make it by, and everything will be fine. And so that's very interesting. Okay, so now this brings me to my second question that I'd asked you there. Because you were talking about this. Have you felt the supernatural world has impacted you? So your intuition, manifestation. Let I'm gonna guess you weren't into all that stuff. So manifestation, mindset, intuition, muscle testing. So tell me, how has that impacted you in your moving into successful life?
wow. First of all, I spent a lifetime denying my intuition. And so many people are in their head, right? So you get that gut instinct. That gut instinct is there for a reason. And it might be quiet, usually is quiet. Why don't we listen to it? Because, oh no, it can't be that this was me my whole life. No, it's not that, because I saw this, and this, or I didn't see this, and this. So then you can't come to that conclusion. And so I spent so long denying that gut instinct, that intuition. I'm still working on teaching myself to trust it. And I'm a lot better than I used to be. But yes, learning to trust that, because so many times when I look back at things where I was like, if I would have just listened to my gut, it was right.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people feel that way. I think a lot of, I'm going to say women, but women and men have had the feeling of, this is, I wish I would listen, but somewhere in my gut it feels like no or yes. And you deny it because logically you're going to follow the other way. You should have listened. I think a lot of people deal with that. So I could totally understand
Yes.
that. That's interesting that that's stood out to you. Was there anything else in the spiritual or supernatural world that really impacted you in your growth? What would that be?
So working with Megan, that's what, like, in so many ways, my mind was blown in so many ways. So when I started working with her and I started seeing all the numbers, like 9/11 is one of my numbers. I don't know
Oh,
why, but it is.
yeah.
A lot of people will see their birth date in numbers. I don't see that one as often. It seems like I see one of my daughters, 321, her birthday in
Yeah.
numbers more often than I see mine, but I'll see mine. But like 1111, 111, I kept seeing these over and over, and I'm like, okay. And I got into a practice where I have started, like if I'm in the car driving and I see it, thank you, angels, for showing me that you're here. Thank you for showing me that I'm on the right path. So I started seeing these things quite a bit, and that was magical to me. And
Oh.
then so I had my daughter's little dog when she went away to school. I had him for about a year before I took him to her in San Diego. And I called him my little spirit dog
Oh.
because he saw things. Lots of animals do, by the way,
Yes.
people out there. You might not believe it, but it's true. And he would bark at nothing. And one time I was in here meditating right outside this window. I had the window open. It was a nice day. And he was out there whining. And I thought, here I am meditating, like he's disturbing me. So I got up and closed the window, thinking he was whining at me, like, let me in. And I thought, he knows how to get into the doggy door. He was not looking at the window. He was looking at this tree. He was sitting there looking at this tree. And so I got up, closed the window. I thought, that's weird. Went back to meditating. So, and I'd seen him bark at this tree before. So I want to say it was the next day that I was going outside to just sit in the sunshine. And I thought, oh, I'm going to get my flip-flops on. I'm going to go inspect this tree to see if there's like a bird nest there or like a beehive or something. So I'm standing right here between the house and the tree, looking up in the tree. Here comes Kelso. His name's Kelso. He's a chug weenie, Chihuahua pug wiener dog. Cutest little dog, little blondie. Personality, that just great dog. So I'm standing here. Here comes Kelso. He goes on the other side of the tree. He starts barking. He's barking over here, like up in the tree over here. And then he turns and he's barking over here up in the tree. And then he turns and he's barking and looking right above my head. And I'm like, what's he barking at? And then his whole body turns toward the back fence. He starts running. He's barking, 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 like up at something. He gets to the back fence, jumps as high as he can on the fence. And then whatever it was gone. And he goes about his business. And I was like, that was weird. And I can't remember the timeline, but it was all the same weekend. I was sleeping. It might have been the night before, or maybe it happened that night. I was sleeping in the middle of the night. It was around 3 or 4. I woke up. It's kind of a long story. I woke up because the house across the street has a light that comes on, and it freaked me out because it would come on. And then I'm like, I'm going to go see where that light's coming from, thinking it was from her house. And I went to move my leg and it would go off. Who's watching me? Happened a couple times. I'm like, okay, forget the light. Because I'm like looking at the little window where the light's coming in, but also at the foot of my bed on the ceiling above my closet, there was an aura. And it was maybe like 3.5 feet wide by, I don't know, 2.5 feet. And I was like, what is that? And like, I saw it when I woke up, but this light was distracting me. And then I'm like, but where is that coming from? And I'm like looking to see if light's coming in, but it looked like nothing that was reflecting from somewhere. But
Yeah.
I just like logically, what is this? So then after trying to like get up and check out the light, but then that light would turn off. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna lay here and look at this beautiful light that's kind of freaking me out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was there for maybe, I don't know, 45 seconds, 50 seconds. And the last 10 seconds, it just slowly faded to nothing. And
Wow.
it was gone. And I've never seen it again.
Wow.
So freaked me out. I didn't know what it was. I mean, it didn't scare me because it had a scary feeling. It's just, it was something I'd never seen before. And what is it? And like logic couldn't explain it.
Yeah.
So I had a friend over a couple of nights later, and I was going to muscle test for him and get rid of some trapped emotions. And I was telling him about all these things that I just told you about. And I was like, oh, I can muscle test and find out because my subconscious mind knows. And so I
Yeah.
was like, I was like, what was it that Kelso saw in the tree? And I started with alien. Was it an alien? No. Okay. I don't know why I started with alien, but I did.
Hmm.
Was it one of my ancestors? Yes. Was it my grandmother? No. Was it my great grandmother on my mom's side? Yes.
Whoa.
Is she just watching over me? Yes. Am I in danger? No. Oh, okay. So she's just here watching over me. Yes. And then I tested to see like, does she watch over my mom? Yes. My sister, yes. My mom's sister, yes. Um, and so that's what Kelso saw. And then I asked about the aura. Was the aura my great grandmother? Yes. So it was all my great grandmother. And since then, like I was out sweeping the sidewalk after mowing the lawn, and Kelso starts barking at all the trees in the front yard. And then I tested, is this my great grandmother? Yes. Is she, what did I say? Is she playing with Kelso? No. Is she messing with Kelso? Yes.
That's so cute.
So that was pretty cool. Just the awareness, because I don't sense them. I don't I don't feel when my grandmother's here. I don't sense. So it's signs. Like my dad had passed away a year and a half ago, and he presents himself to me by bees. So if I see like a little book in a store that has a bee on it, I know he's there. He's here with me.
Aw.
I went on a hike um maybe a month ago. I was looking for whales. And I was going down a path and I stopped because there was this bee right in the middle of the path, like right at my, it was like 5 feet away, but right at my eyesight. And is that my dad? Yes. Hi, Dad.
Aw.
But it was like here, and then it would go here, and then back over here, and then it went down, and then it came back up. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna, because bees kind of scare me a little.
Yeah, I mean, most people, yeah, totally.
So I saw a lot of bees that day,
Very
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're talking about muscle testing, and I want to say this quickly. Do you remember the name of the book? It's slipping my mind.
It is Emotion Code
Emotion Code. So if
by
anyone wants to know
Bradley Nelson.
yes, Bradley Nelson. And if anyone wants to know what you're talking about, it's muscle testing. Basically, you're just asking yes or no questions and you're getting the answer. And there it goes way deeper than that. But if anyone wants to know, it's called the emotion code. And
Yes.
you can get that and learn how to do exactly what Rachel's talking about. So okay, I
Yes.
wanted to clarify
Pretty
that.
cool.
People might be listening and
Thank you.
oh, this is cool. I want to do this. So
Yes.
anyone can do it. Anyone can do this. That's
Yes.
very cool. Okay, so it's neat to hear your like transition from like nothing to like intuition, seeing spirits, like connecting with animals of your ancestors. Very cool. I'm
Oh, you want to hear another thing that happened during
sure.
that whole time? I haven't really seen it since, but I would lay in my bed. This was after my great grandmother appeared. I would lay in my bed and at night, and if I just stared at the ceiling for long enough, I would start seeing little flashes of light or sparkles.
Yeah.
And I would see it kind of freaked me out too. But I saw a dark, shadowy image of like a man,
Oh,
just up in the ceiling.
Yeah.
I saw like a shape of like an alien, what an alien head is, what they portray it to be like in the movies. One
great.
of them had red eyes. That scared me. One time I was just staring up and it was like there was no ceiling there. It was just like it went infinitely like into space or something.
Wow. You've had a lot
Yeah.
of different supernatural experiences. And this is all just recently just kind of started happening?
Yeah, like a year and a half or two ago, but it was all in the same time period. And then I think I kind of shut it down
Yeah.
because it kind of freaked me out. So
Oh, yeah.
when I think to try to see something now, I'm usually so tired that I'm like, not tonight. I'm gonna go to sleep.
I understand that feeling, believe it or not, but you believe it, I know. But it's very interesting to hear that that's happened in such a short period of time for you. That's very cool. Very
Yes.
interesting. Thanks for sharing so openly about that because I know other people do have those experiences and are hesitant to talk about it. So that's good. Okay, I'm going to ask you your third question. Are you ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, what have you learned in the last few years that you can share with people to help them know that they can change their life no matter what state they're in?
Oh, simple answer. Going back to everything that's happening to you is up to you, but our minds are so powerful. I don't think people understand, the majority of people don't understand how powerful your mind is.
Yeah.
And so it's learning to rein in the monkey mind,
Mm,
the doubt and the fear and all the negative emotions, and redirect
yeah.
to good things like I'm powerful, I can do anything I want. Instead of fear, empower yourself, like it's all right here. You just have to learn to, and I'm not saying it's easy, it's simple. It's
Simple.
a simple concept, but
Yeah.
it's not easy because you're retraining, you're reprogramming your mind. So,
No, this is good. If you have more,
and
okay, good. Yep, go.
yes, and get help. Like
Yeah.
find a mentor. Because it's harder to do it by yourself because you only know what you know.
Yeah.
So in order to get to the next level, I think you have to have somebody there who can help guide you and encourage you when you step back, two steps forward, one step back, and then you're back into your doubt and fear and all of that. It's always helpful to have somebody there to be like, look how far you've come.
Yes. Yes.
Stop what you're thinking right now. Take a look at what you've done in the last 6 months or what you've done in the last year.
Yeah.
Like, stop being so hard on yourself. We can be so hard on ourselves.
It's true. And you do need that person in your corner. Sometimes you just need that one shift of the way you're thinking or that one kick in the butt that's like, go and do this. And you're like, oh, yeah, okay, I need to go do that. Yeah, it's true. It's very, very important. I could see that. And I myself having a lot of experience hiring consultants and coaches and knowing like, I know when I can't do what I need to do. I need to get someone to help me. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at a
Yes.
lot of things, but there's those things where I'm like, why am I wasting my time? Like I need help. And it's made all the difference in the world. So I totally understand. It's a very good point to make. So the 2 points we're leaving here on is it really doesn't matter where you are at in life at all. You can be at the worst of the worst. you can change it. It's in here. You can. Just take
Yes.
one small step at a time. One small step and get help.
And don't let the hurdle of money hold you back from getting help.
Right. Right. That's where a lot of people get stuck.
Yeah.
And then that's where everything gets backed up. So that hurdle of money, don't take the step, move in faith, keep going forward, keep believing, and don't stop. Like, just keep going. You're going to hit roadblocks.
Yes.
Do not stop. I like it. Thank you. Well,
Thank
that is
you.
my interview for today. I am really, really grateful that you could come on and share this with us. It's neat to hear your perspective and to hear from your intuitive side of things. Now, there's a whole other side of your story I'd love to do an interview on, which is about the crazy intensity that you went through,
Yes.
your husband, taking your children
Yes.
across the country,
Yes.
starting on your own.
Yes.
If you knocking on doors in the middle of the night to have a room to stay, like, your story is absolutely crazy, and I think it would give a lot of women hope. Would you be open to coming back and doing it?
Absolutely. Yes. Yes.
You?
You know, we got to the end of this and I'm like, I think we were supposed to talk about that, but I took it in a whole different direction.
did. You did. And what people should know is that you were just expressing to me before we got on to record this that your heart is to help women who are in that crisis,
Yes.
in that place, because it's such a, I understand because I've been there, and a lot of women listening to this, it's so terrifying. It's paralyzing. And like, sometimes I
Mhm.
don't even know. I'll be like, how did I get here? How am I doing what I'm doing? Sometimes I don't even think my brain cells are firing. I'm just like functioning as us women and moms know how to do. So I think having someone like
Yes.
you, it would be very valuable. So that's cool. Okay, so you're agreeing that you would come back on. So
Yes. Yes,
yay.
absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you, Rachel. So
Thank you,
appreciate
Sarah.
it. And this is going to be on YouTube and Instagram, so anyone can watch it if they like to. And just
Okay.
hold on one sec here.